Hello, YouTube. Catch me while you can. Home Theater Joe, aka Joe Woody. How y'all doing? Hope everybody's well. We're over here in YouTube land, and you see the title. You know what it is we gotta do. All right. Before I get into that, man, let me just say this one more time, y'all. XLR8yourmac.com. You need to be having this right here. By the way, I did update the C10. Haven't measured it yet. Feel like it's a tad bit brighter. All right, get back here to 4K. Get back on track. So you guys, I talked about Blu-Ray.com in my last entry here about Snatch. So I'm back here at Blu-Ray.com. Love this site. And if we go down here real quick, we'll see our videos at a 4.6. Our audio is at a 4.9. If I remember correctly, for Snatch, it was 4.7, 4.2, 4.7. Take some issue with this in a minute, but let's go back up here. We can see it's the H.265 codec. It is HDR, and it is at a native 4K. Guys, the difference between a native 4K and an upscale, or what would be a 2K resolution, is that there's what we call a digital intermediary, or what they call a digital intermediary. I'm not in the business. Okay, and that happens when you take a picture from film to digital. You have to transfer that information from film to a digital file, and that's your intermediary. And most studios out here are doing 2K resolution. They sell you a 4K disc, but it's really a 2K upscale, and then your new 4K smart TV upscales the rest of the way to 4K. So that'd be the difference. When we see native 4K, okay, that's what we want. Doesn't matter whether it's Dolby Vision, HDR10, none of that really matters. What we want is native 4K. Also, I'm sure that this movie was originally mixed in 5.1, but as we can see here in our audio, we do have the 5.1 mix, the DTS HD master, but more importantly, we have the Dolby Atmos, Dolby True HD 7.1. As y'all know, or may not know, my home theater is a 5.2.2. So I do have two height channels. They are in the front. That's an interesting point I'm going to get back to here in just a second, the placement of my front heights. So we do have this Dolby True HD 7.1. That's good. We want that. Now, we're just going to make this short and sweet, y'all. We talked about Snatch, how disappointed I was, and the rating on that guy was 4.7 on the 4K. This here, Cliffhanger, where is it? I know it's on your screen, but Cliffhanger is 4.6. Don't agree. And the audio is 4.9. Totally agree. Let me talk about the video for just a second before I get to the audio. With Snatch, it was 4K. It was HDR10. But the colors just weren't there. I don't know what happened in the restoration process. Maybe there was an original filter used while filming. I have no idea. But the video difference between Cliffhanger and Snatch, it's huge. And listen, Blu-ray rating, like, y'all people's got this wrong. What's this movie rated out here? Okay, I don't know how to rate this. I'm just going to call it an 8 because it's so damn good. Yeah, okay. Anyway, the video, the saturation, I guess, of the colors, it's just much better on Cliffhanger. Just much better. Now, these are two different movies. You know, Cliffhanger is it's your over-the-top 90s action film, man. And if you like that genre, well, then you can't go wrong with this film. This is I think one of the golden times in cinema, because they would build things and blow them up, as opposed to just build it on a computer and blow it up in a computer CGI. And there's a real difference here, especially with a calibrated display, y'all. I think that's why I'm really finding differences in some of these 4Ks lately. My display's been calibrated for over a year, and it has totally changed the way I view things, as well as my audio setup. But as far as video goes, the calibrated display, there's a real difference between, or a good difference between a real explosion and a CGI. I mean, with a calibrated display, it's just night and day. You can just tell. I'll give you an example. Godzilla, King of Monsters. The first time I saw that, the audio was awesome, but the, the, the display wasn't calibrated. The second time I watched it, the audio was awesome. And then I realized how kind of bad Godzilla looked on my calibrated display. It's like I could really tell at that point he was CGI, even though they tried to hide him in the shadows as much as they could. And that was a very dark movie. Making the point, you need to calibrate your display. I don't care if you have a Samsung, Sony, Panasonic, LG, Hisense, Vizio, whatever it is, you need to calibrate. Blu-ray.com, they got this one wrong. The video on this is stellar. It's amazing. And a side note, I did start watching the audio commentary on that, and it's amazing. I need to do a separate physical media on that audio commentary track. I'll loan the director and Sylvester Stallone both take part in it. Let's go down here to the audio. The audio, amazing. Amazing. Better than Snatch, for sure. In the 4K restoration of Snatch, I could tell when they redid the audio, in a few scenes, they changed the audio and made it more immersive. In Cliffhanger, I mean, it's crazy immersive at all times. And to go to the front height discussion, I do not like where my front heights are placed. I place them too close to the fronts speakers. I kind of went off Yamaha's diagram of where to put them. I regret that. Having said that, the height channels were working very well in this movie, even being as close to my front wall as they are. I could hear a real separation in those height channels, and I don't get that in a lot of films. I do get it in this film and Pacific Rim, the original. I get it in that, and a little bit in the second film as well. The two Pacific Rim films are pretty good for that. This film wasn't, but yeah, it was. This may have been one of the best. So I know I talked about Snatch earlier, and I wanted to contrast the 4K restoration with Cliffhanger, because Cliffhanger's a banger. That's the one you want, in my opinion. So with my calibrated display and my 5.2.2 home setup, Cliffhanger's a huge win. I mean, the movie, I don't really talk about the movies if the movie's good or not. I mean, to me, I like this movie, but that's not what I want to talk about. When I talk about this stuff, I want to talk about how the movie translates, especially these 4K restorations. Obviously, modern movies are going to look some kind of way, but man, when we take these 90s, 80s films in the early 2000s, it's cool. So that's what I'm here talking about. Cliffhanger, that's a must-have in my opinion. Snatch, don't even bother. If you got the Blu-ray, you're good. You need Cliffhanger. I like the movie, but more importantly, it does what it says it does 4K justice. It does Dolby Atmos justice. A lot of these films just have Dolby Atmos, Dolby Vision, HTJ, whatever, and they don't. This one does. I'm repeating myself so much because I just want to make it clear. And to contrast also, Cliffhanger. Talk about a modern movie, okay? Elysium. I bring this up a lot. Elysium is gorgeous. It's a modern film. Filmed digitally, I'm sure. Maybe a lot of the things digitally. So maybe some film in there, but it's gorgeous looking. The the metadata for the video that I don't remember. It's Dolby Vision HDR10, whatever. It's gorgeous. The audio is awesome. I just can't stand Matt Damon in that movie, and it ruins it for me. So even though that movie should be that movie's reference material for showing off a home theater, it's demo quality, and I had it for a long time, but I had to get rid of it because I just can't stand the movie. So it doesn't matter how good the movie looks or how bad the movie looks when I'm talking about these things. I want to make clear that Elysium is demo worthy material. The movie's terrible. Cliffhanger is demo worthy material, and I love the movie. So that's where my thought process is when I talk about this stuff. So, Snatch, don't get the 4K. 300, don't get the 4K. Just my opinion. Okay, right. We can go back here now. I'm wearing the same t-shirt because I'm just pumping them out this morning, y'all. Sorry. Hey, if you have any questions or comments, good, bad, or different, you can go ahead and put them right down below. Greatly encouraged, greatly appreciated. Now we can wrap up. Bow on this guy. As always, thank you for listening. Be good. Be safe. Boom.